Hi, good day to you. Michael here from Asia Virtual Solutions. Today we'll be looking at the Advanced tab in GSA Search Engine Ranker and what exactly is the settings under there. We will be covering there's three settings under the Advanced tab, which is Miscellaneous, the API settings, and the linked list settings. In this video we will only be looking at Miscellaneous and API, because the linked list is a whole video on its own. So let's get into the settings and walk through the advanced settings. If you go to the options, it's the bottom one, advanced. So here you will see the options. Here there's three tabs: miscellaneous, site list, API. So we'll just walk through and look at each of these options. The first two options is basically if you're a developer. If you're not a developer and need debug files, or maybe the developer asks you to enable that to get a debug, then you can enable that. But for normal everyday user, you do not need these two things at the top here enabled. It will not give you anything useful that you will be able to work with. It won't give you more links or whatever. This is just a debug to find problems or look at what exactly is happening in the code. So if you're not a developer, no worries, you don't have to do anything here. The next setting is where you can enable what you want to use for virtual PR. The older guys will know that PR used to be a Google thing maybe 15 years ago, where they assigned page rank to sites. But that's finished 15 years ago, but people still cling on to that, and now they use all sort of things to create virtual page ranks. But most of these you need a subscription for. So if you look at the drop down here, you can see there's Majestic, there's SER rank, there's Moz. But all of these, this is domain detailer, but all of these you'll need the API key for. So also, since we're working with very large lists, we have got millions, so I think this is a little bit impractical and will work out very expensive if you've got large lists that you want to sort by these metrics. GSA Search Engine Ranker used to have a tool called GSA, I can't remember what it's called, PR. I don't know if they still have it. I don't see anything in here. But even that you needed to hook up with one of these. So unless you really care about the metrics, I personally don't use any of this. So up to you. If you want to sign up for these services, you can, but honestly, it's not going to give you more links. It will just give you some fancy metrics, and you can sort the linked list into, you can sieve out the lesser quality links based on trust flow, etc. But if you got a list of 10 million, it will cost you a lot of money to do that, and especially if the lists are updated all the time. So personally, I don't use this. APIs, save API replies. Again, you do not really need this unless you're a developer and want to see what the API replies are. I assume this is for the thing above here, for the PR API calls. The next button is Tools. Now this is some handy stuff that everyday users will find this handy. If we click on Tools, the first one is Footprint Studio. Now if you scrape your own list, or you want to know what the footprint is so you can search and maybe Scrapebox or something like that, here's all the platforms in GSA Search Engine Ranker. So all of the platforms is listed here, and then you can just click on one and it will show you the footprints. So you can Control A, select all, and then copy, and then you can go and use the footprint in GSA Search Engine Ranker. Also, if you want to improve the current footprints, you can add. So you just add a new footprint here, click add, and specify for which search engine you want to test it, and test it in there. Because I think there's so many platforms, the developers of GSA cannot possibly maintain them all effectively. So if you know of any new footprints for a platform, then by all means come and add it in here. There's also footprints for third-party services like Goxes from SerNuke. So you can add here, or you can copy all the footprints from here. Okay, so this is very handy to have. You can also add new engines here, and then specify the footprints. Okay, so the footprints is very handy. So just select, I don't know if you can select more than one at a time. No, you can't. And then the footprint will be here. You can then right click, Control A, and then copy and put it on your, if you've got a whole bunch of footprints that you want to import, then you just import here from file. Okay, so that is the Footprint Studio. Next one, if you use Google Search Console, you might know this one. I don't see this being used so much more these days. It is basically where you can provide a list of links to Google. Maybe somebody did some negative SEO to your site, and now you have a lot of bad links, and you want to tell Google to ignore all of those backlinks. Then you created a disavow file and you uploaded it to Google Search Console. This will enable you can read through here. It mentioned that nowadays it's not really so effective anymore. So you will select the file with the URLs, and I have never used it, sorry. So you'll select your list of URLs, and then it will help you to create the disavow file. Personally, I don't use this. I never used it. Spin tools, this is quite important. If you want to spin the articles that you add to the projects, you add if you got access to spinners, so like I use Spin Rewriter, so there's my API key, and there's Word AI, Word X, there's quite a few here that you can use. Then just add your API keys to them, and you can then convert the text from here, or if you go to the projects, you'll be able to spin the articles from within the projects. Let me just open one here. This is already spun, but in here, if you select an article, spin selected, but mine is spin already. But if you click here, spin selected, I'm just going to abort it now because this is already spun. This is when you just add your own articles and you want to spin it. Just set up the spin, your spinner in the options tab, and you can then come. Also, if you import the articles, it will ask you when you're importing if you want to spin it. But it takes a while, especially if I got 30 articles here. So just maybe import and select your spin, and then go and have lunch and let it spin while you're having lunch, because it's going to take a while. Now this thing is hanging. Let's go to the magic button. I just need to force it to close. Okay, it's finished. Okay, so that's good. So we don't have to force it. Okay, so back to the tools. So that is what's under the spin tools. Then under remove duplicates from a file. So maybe you got a linked list or a keyword list, or a list of URLs, and you want to remove all the duplicates, then you basically just click on it, select the file that you want the duplicates removed, and then it will ask you want to remove the duplicate URLs, subdomains, root domain, or cancel. So you can decide if you want which you want to remove. I'll just ignore this for now. So this is just to remove duplicates from a file. Maybe you scraped a big list and you don't know there's some duplicates in there, then you use that to clean it up. This is if you got, let's say you got 5 different files of list, linked list. Then you can make that 5 files become one file by using the join and merge feature. This one is where you, maybe you have a file where you have links that you don't want to be used. You never want to submit to those sites, or maybe you have keywords that you never want those keywords to appear in any of your linked lists. Then you can excuse me, you can I'll just open that, and then you can say remove present in another file. So that one I just opened is our list, and then we can open another list and it will remove from the previous list. Or remove by mask, then you can specify what to remove. Okay, so that was that. Export. Okay, so this option is if you're using third-party other tools like GSA Platform Identifier, then those engines might not be so updated all the time. By engines, I mean these things. These platforms, they have all engines, special engines, and that is normally saved in. Let me just find this now. It's in the C drive under Program Files, GSA Search Engine Ranker, engines. So all of these things. Why do you want to do this? It's because if you have custom engines, like I use SER engines, I have a lot of SER and I have all of the SER engines, but on GSA Platform Identifier, they won't be able to identify my SER engines because GSA Platform Identifier don't have these engines. So in order to get these engines, you go to Tools, then you export this. I did this yesterday. I will export it to this PC, Google Drive, my drive. I'll just put it in here, do not delete. Do not delete. And then we wait for it. Okay, I exported now to do not delete folder. So let's go into the do not delete folder. This PC, Google Drive, my drive, do not delete. Where the hell is the do not delete? So engines, it exported this engines here. So this now is all the engines, including the you see there's GOX. This is from SER. There's Homeo. These are all included from SER, and all other engines. So what we do then is on our GSA Platform Identifier. We go there. If you have GSA Platform Identifier, then you go to, let's open that VPS. if you don't have GSA platform identifier, then you don't need to do this. So now here I have platform identifier running. So if I go to my Google Drive folder and look for that do not delete folder, my drive, do not delete, just move it a bit to the side. I think I will just stop this for first, pause it at least. Maybe just better to close it. Okay, so then we open that engines, and we have 390. So we copy them all, copy, and we open the C drive where platform identifier is installed, open file location, and you see there in the GSA platform identifier you have a folder called engines. So we just copied them now from but we exported and we paste it in here, and you override everything in there. So now it will add the SER nuke engines, and if there's any update to engines, it will update these engines. So GSA platform identifier is then going to be able to identify engine of third parties add-ons like SER nuke, SER engines and others. Click replace the files in the destination. Okay, so that's all what that is for. Let me just close that. So now it's just copying everything over. I'll just give it, I'm not going to wait for it. You can continue working. So let's go back to the tools. So that was the tools, the platform identifier export. If you don't use platform identifier, you don't need that. Next setting. Sometimes people are different regions and their computer settings are different. So somebody in the Middle East, they might have different encoding from somebody in China or somebody in Europe. And sometimes when they install GSA Search Engine Ranker, it looks so small, all the text and everything in here is small. So this is basically just to make, to change the scaling, how big it should be, how small it will be. I don't have any problem with how mine displays, so I don't want to change anything. But you can adjust how it looks and make it bigger or smaller from here. The next thing is maybe you got a lot of projects and it's submitting non-stop, but maybe at one point there's a problem, your internet goes down. So you don't want GSA to keep trying to submit and run through the whole project when the internet is down. So basically check this box and then it will stop GSA Search Engine Ranker from submitting. So basically it will click stop on the start button, and then when the internet is back on, it will automatically restart it. So this I will leave it checked. Minimize to tray, I'm sure you understand what that is. It just puts it on the tray and not when you minimize, when you close it. Important messages for projects. I don't like this option because it gives a lot of nonsense warnings about all kind of things, and it's more unnerving, don't know the word, but it's more it bothers me more than it helps me, because a lot of things you don't really have control over. You can see the description there. It will give a lot of unnecessary warnings, which is not really much help for you. So I don't enable that at all. I leave it. If there's a problem, I can see that in the log or in the log there. It will show errors in here. I don't like my whole project board to look like a Christmas tree with all the warnings. So that's it. Under the miscellaneous tab, at the bottom, There's just some discounts, proxies, and rotating discounts. Under the API section, I've minimized this now so you don't see my API keys. This is where you can add your API keys for third-party services like SER Cloud, SER Engine, SER Lib. And there's another one, which is this one here, which is SER Nuke, which is what I use, SER Nuke. You basically just add your API keys for this one. You add endpoint and the API key, which you'll get when you sign up for SER Nuke services. These are just the API key when you sign up for these services. So what this then do is it will add additional engines. So I click on, so I have SER Nuke that I added, so now I have all of these extra engines. And from the lot there, the SER Lib, SER Engines, all of them, this is the best one. I've tested them all. I highly recommend SER Nuke. Okay, so that is advanced tab. If you have any questions for the advanced tab, API or miscellaneous, let me know, and I'll try to answer for you. Thanks and have a good day.